Warning, this podcast was produced by two men who still think that swearing is both big and clever. As a result, it contains quite a lot of it. Therefore, this podcast is not suitable for children, unless they're really fucking cool children. Yes, people, Dave Fensom here with another episode of Pop Collaborate and Listen. Hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for loads and loads of feedback for the Metallica episode. You guys seem to be really digging it. Glad you're enjoying it, guys. We had an absolute blast recording that one, particularly after some of the shit we've had to listen to this year. Thanks for getting in contact. I mean, one person that wasn't enjoying it so much was John in Leeds on Twitter, who basically constantly loads the albums on the show but loves the actual show. So big up to you for enjoying the show anyway. Apart from the Soundman track, he said, these tunes out there have been lifted from South Park. What am I missing? Mate, there is nothing I can tell you, my friend. If those tunes aren't doing it for you, then they are not doing it for you. But cheers for listening anyway, mate. Getting in contact. It's appreciated whether you like the records or not. Let us know. Get back in contact, man. Let us know what kind of thing you do like. We've had loads and loads of these top 10 lists coming through for the Guns N' Roses episode. They're not going to be coming out until next week, so you still got a minute to get any top 10 lists through. If you're not following us on Twitter, what we're asking is people to take the two Use Your Illusion albums and condense them down into one 10-track album. It's a lot fucking harder than it sounds. We've had loads of feedback though from people. Quite a few of them get read out on the episode itself. You've got time to get in contact there. I might read a couple out on the intro next week. What's been going on? Been gigging loads, finally starting to turn over some new material for this new show. Supported the wonderful Sean McLaughlin at the Carolina Brunswick last week. Gigged with our good friend Alex Petrovich as well. Really lovely gig all round. Had another fantastic On The Edge comedy the other day. Pretty much sold out there. Really great acts all round. Julie Jepson absolutely killed it as our headliner. Another one of those taking place next Friday, which is, God, what date is that? Is that the 15th? Yeah, 15th. We have got the absolutely fantastic Barry Ferns headlining. He's a real treat, so come down and see us if you can. First and third Fridays every month at the Carolina Brunswick. Guys, what else can we say? Rage Against the Machine got back together this week. Another big 90s band back together. We were asking people on the Twitter again who they wanted to see back together. Good friend Mike Collins let us know he's looking quite towards Fugazi, looking towards REM as well. Obviously not strictly 90s bands, but bands that had a lot of output in the 90s. Fantastic comedian William Stone saying At the Drive-In, really wanted to see them. Was a bit late to the party with them, missed them when they were gone. Phil Guthrie, thank you ever so much. Halen Pace, he's said he reckons as a follow-up to The Stonk is overdue. And number one rerun podcast, Emanate, because they've got a little something for us. One of the only sensible answers, of course, here from Martin Young. Cheers, Martin, as always, mate. Elastica, and our friend Clark, he's kind of agreeing with that. So anyway, guys, without much further ado, I think we're going to crack on with this podcast. This is quite a long intro from me this week. Guys, hope you enjoy the podcast. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye. Yes, people, Dave Fensom here with another episode of Pop Collaborate and Listen. As always, I am joined by Mr. Krista Greer.
Hello, everybody.
And Mr. Waffles T-Dog.
All right, Waffles.
Yeah, he's saying nothing. He's just sat under Krista's feet, as he always is. He enjoys it.
Chilling.
Yeah, man. So this week we are here to talk about Dire Straits.
Yeah, Dire Straits had an album in 1991 called On Every Street.
On Every Street, which is ironic, seriously. Their last album literally was On Every Street. The one before this. This is following up one of the biggest albums of all time.
Of all time, yes, exactly. And I didn't even realise this about Dire Straits, because this album that we're talking about is their sixth album.
Yeah.
I just kind of assumed they had probably 20 albums in the back catalogue. I wasn't aware that they only had, up until Brothers in Arms, which is a big one in 1985, that was their fifth.
Do you know what, man? Apart from that album, I'm kind of blissfully unaware of Dire Straits
yeah, but I
general.
assumed there were loads of other ones. That just never made it.
I think if you'd have told me either one of those things, I'd have probably believed you.
I see.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, this one is the, in real terms, it's the difficult second album, isn't it?
True.
Even though it's the sixth, because, you got to follow up. And, I mean, whether you got an opinion on Dire Straits or not, you kind of have to have an opinion on that record in a way, don't you?
Yeah, well, especially if you're our age.
Yes, indeed.
Because in 1985, it was the biggest thing in the world. It was the biggest album that was going on across the land.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of a bit of, I guess, synchronistic timing, because they came out with that record, they had Live Aid off the back of it, and then they had that fucking video as well.
The Money for Nothing video, which was all over the place as
that,
well.
Yeah, that was like kind of very much the zeitgeist video of MTV. It's almost one of the defining MTV videos. If you ever see a montage of
videos that changed the world,
yeah,
sort of
that's
thing,
going to be right up there. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, no matter how pony it is now, because it's shockingly bad
mate,
right now.
It's basically like, if I ever see that video now, I'm trying to solve it, because it looks like one of the clues on fucking Catchphrase.
It is. It's so primitive.
I'm looking at them yo-yos. But yeah, I mean, I never owned that album, I've got to say.
No, I never did, and I don't think it was in my house. I don't think my mum or stepdad had either, but I have friends who had it. In '85, their dad had it. Basically.
I mean, I'll tell you, that's where I heard this album the most, would be being ferried as a kind of 11, 12-year-old kid from one mate's house to another by a friend's father.
And it was in
their car, yeah. Do you know what I mean? That's what it was. It was definitely an album that dads liked.
Absolutely. But then you also think that it had a good few singles off it. So we were very sort of bombarded by Money for Nothing and Walk of Life.
Yeah, I mean,
Twisted by the Pool.
Yeah, I love Money for Nothing. I love.
Oh, it is a great song.
Yeah, I love Walk of Life. I love those tracks, right?
Right, sure.
Yeah, they're good, solid fucking tracks. But I have never ever been interested in investigating any more of Dire Straits' work.
No, I would be the same. I'm happy with hearing the hits.
I couldn't tell you another single off of any one of those other 4 preceding records.
Romeo and Juliet.
Couldn't tell you what it was.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you'd know it if you heard it.
Oh, would I?
Yeah. Private Investigations. You'd know that.
I mean, I've had a couple.
But you'd hear those and you go, oh, of course. Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, literally the only times anyone has investigated my privates recently is if the dog's sniffing my balls if I haven't had a bath for a couple of days. He regrets that afterwards.
Oh, I'm quite sure.
And he eats shit. Yeah. Anyway.
All right, well, so this, I'm assuming, you'd never heard this album before.
No.
Had you heard... Oh, well, when you're going through it, did any of the songs you go, oh, I do remember that as a single or anything like that?
Do you know what, man? First track, Calling Elvis, I've got a vague recollection of, but that is it.
Okay, like you say, it was the 6th album. It was officially the follow-up to Brothers in Arms, even though it was 6 years after that, and it was after the band kind of broke up.
Sure.
Because they broke up in about 88 and then got back together with a slightly different lineup, only 2 of the original members still, and recorded this for 1991 release. So it's a slightly different band. It's 6 years on from where they were.
Yeah.
And one of the themes of this album that we'll see is that the massive touring and the huge promotional shit that had to go along with the Brothers in Arms campaign got to Mark Knopfler.
Sure.
And that's one of the reasons why he stopped Dire Straits. And it's one of the things that we see him writing about in this album from time to time, about the kind of the weirdness that you have to do alongside just playing music to get yourself out.
Absolutely, man.
So
absolutely.
it's
which is weird, really, isn't it? Because it's not just Money for Nothing and Chicks for Free.
Apparently not.
Weirdly cognizant, precognizant. But yeah, all right. We've talked a little bit about this before, but this record's coming out at a time in my life, just to give some context of that, where, I'm still listening to a lot of pop music, but I'm also listening to a lot of kind of edgier stuff. I'm discovered NWA by this point.
Yeah, sure.
I'm listening to a lot of Guns N' Roses at this point, listening to, just trying to find that kind of outlaw music that I would later gravitate towards. Now, I think this, something like Dire Straits falls directly in the middle of that. It's neither poppy enough to be pop, and it's not edgy enough to be like on my radar if this is this new and exciting stuff that I'm discovering.
No, totally fair.
And, it very much felt at the time like something for dads.
Exactly. It was. I mean, it obviously wasn't targeted at us as 16-year-olds, but I wasn't even thinking. I wasn't even flirting with the idea of maybe giving it a listen. It was alien to me entirely.
You wouldn't have joined the Britannia Music Club to get this.
No, I really would not.
Exactly.
No. And in the same way as, whenever we talked about Seal a few weeks back, that was a bit of a grown-up album that we ended up finding out, but it had a pop moment that I remember.
Yeah.
So this didn't have that. It didn't have that single.
I mean, dude, we remember Alita Adams.
Yeah, true enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
No matter how hard we try.
But yeah, well, this didn't have the big hits, the chart-friendly hits. It wasn't on Radio 1.
Still sold a fucking ton of records, though.
It did, and that's bizarre to me because you think, right, Brothers in Arms sold 30 million copies worldwide, one of the biggest selling albums of all time.
Yeah.
This, on release, it didn't sell as much, and it wasn't as well received critically, but it still went on to sell 15 million copies.
Yeah.
Which is really strange to me.
Bizarrely, it sold 1 million of those in France.
Wow.
It did. It did.
I know.
It was. France was the second biggest territory for this record, I think. Actually, possibly UK was second biggest, but it was.
But it was after that.
Yeah.
Very possible. Who knows why? There are 6 singles off this album if you count every single territory.
Yeah.
Because one of the singles was only released in France and Germany. So presumably they saw what was going on. They went, right, fucking keep this campaign going. Chuck this one out for France.
I mean, fair play. I mean, that's 50. I mean, it's only 12 tracks on this record, and to get 6. I mean, we'll
6
talk
singles.
We'll talk about this record, and we'll see whether we could have chosen 6 singles out of it.
Well, indeed, yeah. But just in terms of the time period we're talking about here, this was only number 1 for 1 week in the UK.
Okay.
But we do have a time period whenever we're talking about other stuff along the way. This came after Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat album was number 1. And it also came after Paul Young's singles collection was number 1.
Nice.
Neither of which we're covering, obviously.
We're not talking about Paul Young.
Mate, let's do that off air. That's a more important conversation to have off air.
Mate.
Paul Luton Boy Young.
Luton Boy Young.
I know.
We don't have much to be proud of. But we're fucking proud of Paul Young.
Well, he had a number 1 compilation album,
right?
So it has just been at number 1, I think, for a couple of weeks. So we actually have a 4-week period,
okay,
that we're going to be looking at later on. But this was number 1. Dire Straits was number 1 from the 15th to the 21st of September, 1991. So we are really quite far through the year at this point.
The back end of the year.
We really are, yeah.
Right. So shall we start as we always do by looking at the album cover?
Absolutely, yes. But we don't have a copy of this one because it's not turned up in any charity shops that I've been to.
No.
So I don't have one.
People hanging on to it.
Obviously, yeah.
Collector's item.
That's what it is, mate, yeah. But the album cover, it took me a minute to work out what the fuck it was.
Yeah, me too. I had to like really fucking zoom into the image from Wikipedia.
Right, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it looks like just sort of a sort of blue with some neon-y lines on it, but you're not quite sure what those things are.
Yeah, well, it's a heat-treated image, isn't it?
That's the way to describe it.
It's like basically, so it's taken like from underneath some kind of like see-through floor, isn't it? Because you can see feet.
Oh, that's not what I've got from it.
No, it's feet. It's feet, and he's playing a guitar.
Yeah, I've got that it's a bloke sitting down with his feet up on a desk.
Oh, it could be that.
So
I guess
it's like very relaxed playing.
Maybe it could be that
because it is. It's feet in the foot. It's the soles of shoes in the foreground. And then a guitar and a hand sort of behind that.
Yeah.
But no, it looked to me like it was just laying back, feet up.
I mean, basically what it looked like to me is that Mark Knopfler was being targeted by the Predator.
Nice.
Which is something, after hearing this record, I'd be in favour of.
You wouldn't shed a tear too much. If it got done.
Funnily enough, I tell you, the album cover, apart from the colour choice that it's closest to, in a weird way, is Pretty Hate Machine by 9 Inch Nails.
Oh, right.
Because that's got the kind of the heat-treated kind of weird that light effect.
Blue, that pink.
Yeah, there's also a little bit of it in Meantime by Helmet, I guess.
Okay. Yeah,
not quite.
No, but I see the 9 Inch Nails more than that, for sure.
Yeah, but both of which are much better album covers.
Mate, you don't know, Mark Knopfler may have been listening to a lot of 9 Inch Nails. Yeah. And he saw that and went, that's a wicked image. I'm going to try and do that.
For the record, I don't think the album cover to Pretty Hate Machine is a classic cover either.
Right.
But it's that argument of when an album becomes a classic, it becomes a classic cover.
Because of what's inside.
Yeah, and it's the choice of colours. So that weird kind of bright neon pink and the blue with Pretty Hate Machine.
Sure,
I think that's the interesting thing. So yeah, I don't think this is a great album cover.
Not at all. And things, I was looking at some of their other album covers, and even Brothers in Arms, I think, is a bit of a wanky album cover. Again, it's very iconic.
Exactly.
It's recognisable because it sold 30 million copies. But if you saw that as just an image, you'd be like, whatever, it's a guitar in the sky.
See, the weird thing is that the shininess of that guitar, I remember being really drawn to that as a kid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a weird thing. That album was one of those albums that I would have joined the Britannia.
Oh, I see.
As a kid, there was
age 10.
Yeah, there was something about that album cover that really made me go, "Oh, I want to know what that's about." I don't know what it is, but I can remember that quite viscerally.
Oh, that's bizarre.
So I think that Brothers in Arms is a really interesting album cover. The only other thing I want to mention on this is this is 2 in a row for us, #1 albums on Vertigo.
Oh, it is as well. Yeah, Metallica and then this.
Yeah.
Right.
So
there's two sides of a coin.
Exactly. They're in a good run though, aren't they, Vertigo?
Very good. They must have thought they were in their prime period.
Yeah,
with these two.
I mean, I would imagine they were.
Yeah, true. Bizarre meetings going on in Vertigo offices going, well, we've just got Metallica out there. It's done really well. What's our next big push?
Yeah.
Well, there is this very slow Dire Straits album we've got. Oh, stick it on, mate.
I wonder if there was ever a conversation when they tried to get Metallica to go out with
with Dire Straits.
Dire Straits.
Or collaborate.
As the support act, as would have had to happen at that point.
At that point, yeah. God.
Anyway, right, shall we crack on with this?
Let's get into it.
#1 is called Calling Elvis.
Yes, indeed. And this was the first single. This was released in August of 1991, and it got to number 21 in the charts. Mm-hmm. So, not a massive hit, safe to say.
Well, I mean, it sounds like Dire Straits.
This doesn't sound like the Dire Straits I picture.
I mean,
it sounds like some of their I guess and stuff. This sounds like a lot more country Dire Straits to me.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of got that kind of country blues, but it's still got that stadium rock. It's still got the kind of the big drums in the production.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think so. He's got his husky voice.
Yeah, the voice. You can't get away. The voice is very overridingly Dire Straits because that's one of their big motifs.
We've got the slide guitar happening.
Yeah,
a lot of that, and then which adds to the countrified feel.
Yeah.
Obviously, the lyrics are, the chorus is basically a collection of Elvis song titles.
Yes, indeed.
Repurposed.
Yeah. Sure.
For reasons that
Heartbreak
remain unclear.
Hotel.
Yeah. I mean, look, man, this, on first listen or so, this is fine.
Right.
It's no money for nothing as an opener, is it?
No, it's nothing like a big song. It's very gentle. It's very underwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would imagine that the first comeback single of a 30 million selling, just on anticipation, is going to do well. But this is mid-chart, and that is a poor, disappointing performance for that single.
I would imagine. I would absolutely agree. But again, I suppose at the time, this doesn't fit into radio play. This is not going to sit amongst even Oleta Adams and Seal and whatever else. And whenever we go through the top 10s every week, you're seeing the kind of the new rave stuff coming through.
That's
and
right.
blah, blah, blah.
That's right.
You're not seeing this sort of thing.
Well, I guess at that point as well, the adult market was an albums market, and the youth market was a singles market.
Yeah, true enough. But I would say even whenever we did Chris Rea, because I think the closest thing we've looked at so far to this in style is that Chris Rea album.
Without a doubt. And I must admit that, having enjoyed the Chris Rea album more than I thought I would.
Yeah, absolutely.
I went into this one knowing that I didn't mind some Dire Straits songs.
Right.
Thinking, well, maybe this is going to be a similar
might
kind of,
another Road to Damascus on Dire Straits.
Yeah, or Road to Hell.
Oh, yes, quite.
There we go. But no, I mean, the thing is, right, up until 3 minutes into this song, I'm like, it's fine, right?
Yeah.
And then it kind of starts ending, but it also starts refusing to end.
Sure, yeah. Right. One thing we're probably going to say quite often in this is that the songs are very, very long in general.
Oh, mate.
This is 6.5 minutes.
Yeah, this is 6.5 minutes, and the song is over solidly at 3.5 minutes.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Right.
The vocals stop at 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And so you've got another 3 minutes of noodling.
Yeah.
And then it fades out.
I've got a note here that says this song noodles itself to death.
Right, it really does.
And it really does. It really, really does. 3 minutes, that's enough time to make actual noodles.
Right. Maybe you could use this as a timer.
Yeah, exactly.
You stick this on. Once he stops singing, boil the kettle.
Yeah. Maybe this is less of a song and just more of an egg method.
Yeah.
Right, if you want your egg hard boiled, put on track 1.
Right.
If you want it
I like this idea. It's much better than
it's fucking.
any other
It
use.
finds a practical use for it, if nothing else.
And
So
the thing is, it's also, like you say, the lyrics are. There's a lot of Elvis song titles going through the quotes, but it's the same thing over and over. So it's not like he's done something clever and then he's done a load of different Elvis ones for verse 2 or the next chorus. It's the same thing over and over and over.
And I don't get what he's getting at either.
I don't know why he's done it.
Is he a fan of Elvis? Is he equating himself to Elvis?
I read that one of the possible explanations for why he did this was that his brother had been trying to call him and he wasn't available. And when his brother finally got hold of him, he said, "Oh, you're harder to get hold of than Elvis," and that sparked off this idea. But that
you're running low on ideas.
Yeah,
at that
fuck
point.
me. Absolutely. That does not equate to a song in my head.
Man, I wouldn't even. I mean, I don't remember much funnier things that I say than that.
Right, exactly. It's a very strange one.
Because I'm very funny.
Very funny. Yes, indeed, you are.
Very
funny.
Very funny. All right, fuck this. I'm not a fan of that one.
No, it's a bit too kind of Americana, the country down that road for me.
Yeah,
I don't like that sort of thing in general, and I'm not interested in Dire Straits doing their version of that.
But we say that, but when REM started doing a bit of it, we were all right with it.
Ah, true. Okay, yeah.
You're a Loudon Wainwright fan.
Sure, but I wouldn't say he's necessarily this sort of thing.
No, but,
maybe at times.
Yeah. So
okay, maybe it's just this song then.
It's this song shit, mate.
Yeah.
It's not even shit. That's the thing about this song. It's not even shit. It's just very anonymous.
Very anonymous, very boring.
Very boring.
Very much. 6.5 minutes long.
Very boring. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
does
unforgivably long.
Yeah.
I mean, that is one of our things that we like to throw at things a lot.
Oh well, if it's a bad song, then don't do it for 6 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. If it's a bad song and you have to fill an album, okay, but stop it at 3.5.
And you don't have to fill an album. You Dire Straits, you can do whatever you want.
Well, true. And to be honest, that I think is exactly what's happened with this album. He's got the band back together.
Yeah.
He's been told, yeah, of course we'll release a new Dire Straits album. Amazing. Your last one sold just go away and do whatever you want. Come back to us. And he has done exactly what he wanted. Sure. I think he loves this sort of thing. He loves just noodling for 3 minutes on a guitar because he's a guitarist.
Yeah.
And he came back to the record company and went, "Here you go, there's your album." They were like, "Bollocks.
Yeah.
This isn't what we were after." But he's gone, "This is exactly what I'm putting out. Do it."
And the record company's like, now we're in Dire Straits.
Yeah.
Right, anyway, track number 2 is called
On Every Street. So this is the title track. Title track.
Harmonised title track.
And this was the third single.
Gotta be a record of you someplace. You gotta be on somebody's books.
Here we find ourselves in our old trope of man speaks huskily and profoundly over a piano. Like a Bob Dylan for the Top Gun generation I've written here.
Okay.
Pleasure and the pain.
And I said this was the third single. It wasn't released until February of 1992.
Yeah.
And they didn't even bother making a video for this. So I suspect by this point they were kind of aware that they weren't going to be selling singles.
No, man. I mean, I've written, this is excruciatingly dull.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
For me, and I'm going to go off on what is quite a detailed and unprompted analogy here, but
Oh, excellent. I'm going to get my drink.
what this song reminds me of, right,
Yes.
is imagine you're watching a Disney film or some kind of cartoon,
Right.
There's 2 cats, and they've been mates, right, and they've been going through an adventure together, but then there's been some kind of schism. They've fallen out with each other, right? And there's a montage playing where one of the cats sees the other cat going about his business, right? And he's rueful of the relationship they once had, and he's watching it and he's sad, right? This is the music that will be playing while that happened.
Oh, I see. Okay. I like the image that you are painting for me.
That's what would happen. It's this kind of sad kind of, oh, do.
Right.
It's very sad, and we're cats. We used to be buddies, but now we are not.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Oh, okay. I'm with you so far. That's fine.
Yeah. So it's dull. It goes 3 minutes in Disney format, I think.
Yep.
Then
Lots of steel guitar as well in that 3-minute build-up.
Yeah. Then it gets to 3 minutes and it picks up a bit. It drops into a much brighter, but still incredibly boring blues plod, I would call it.
Yeah.
And then it just
fucking peters out into just another tedious outro.
And very much.
Yeah,
Very much.
It really, I mean, it
Wanders off into nothing.
I mean, how long was this one? About 5 minutes?
This is 5 minutes, yep.
And again, it's another one where all the lyrics are over by 3 minutes.
Yes, indeed. It's only got a 90-second, what might be called a payoff after a very long intro,
Yeah.
but that payoff is not worth the intro that it tries to make us think it might be. It does get a bit more going, like you say, in that last bit, but it's not special enough.
No.
There's not a big, soaring guitar solo or not a massive hook that starts in and you go like, oh, fucking okay.
It's not like that Queen album where all of a sudden that guitar comes out of fucking nowhere.
Spanish guitar. Yeah.
Still don't like that Spanish guitar.
And also, I don't understand what this song is about. From reading through the lyrics, and it's sort of like, I'm looking for your face on every street. I'm looking for the signs that you were here. I was like, is it about an old flame?
Mate, it's about 2 cats.
Oh, 2 cats. Yeah, true. I must admit, yeah,
They used to be
that
mates,
makes
and now
much
they're
more
not.
sense now.
And I couldn't get that out of my head. Whatever the words say,
It's all about cats.
thematically it's about 2 cats.
Right.
What you can know is by a different track that's not on this record, they'll be mates again, don't worry.
Oh, sure, there'll be a finale where they're singing together and, running down the street.
Enough of this shit.
Yeah, track 3. Okay, track 3 was When It Comes to You.
Ooh. Okay. So slide guitar, we're at kind of blues bar standards.
Yeah, it is. It's very just middle of the road blues.
I mean, it's jaunty enough, isn't it?
But I wouldn't say jaunty. It's jauntier than the first 2.
Yeah.
But this is not jaunty.
It skips along, though, doesn't it? About a bad relationship.
Skips. There's no skipping here. This is strolling along.
Oh, I don't know. I think this has got a bit of a pep in its step.
I think you may have listened to this at 2 speed on YouTube or something.
Maybe, mate, maybe. I was trying to get through it quickly.
Sorry, you were saying about a man in a ship relationship.
Yeah, so, I mean, look, right, again, that's what it is. It's about a toxic relationship, isn't it? It's about a man that's fed up of getting shit all the time.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, as with everything on this record, the playing is decent enough.
Oh, God, no, you can't fault musicianship with Dire Straits. You're never going to be able to go, oh, well, they just can't do what he's trying to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they fucking can.
Oh, of course they can, right? But again, it doesn't set my world on fire. No. I like it better than both the first 2 tracks.
Sure, yeah.
But again, an absolutely slow, torturous bleed out towards the end of this song.
Total wallpaper, this song.
This song, right, has got a 30-second fade out. 30 seconds. No song needs a 30-second fade out.
Not at all.
Napalm Death can do an album in that time.
I can have sex twice.
Yeah, me too, man. And I can have a
Not on the
kiss in
same
the middle.
day, yeah.
Not with the same person. Not with the same dog.
I remembered a joke the other day that made me laugh.
Shit.
Did you know that apparently male hamsters die after having sex?
Right.
Or at least the one I was fucking did.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
Oh, I'd heard it ages ago and I just remembered it.
It's fucking good.
Yeah, it's all right, that.
Leave that one in.
Done. Fuck. Okay, but yeah, it's another 5-minute song, this one. No reason for it. And it just, you've reminded me, though, you said about the musicianship and how good, that is. We are seeing, from the Cher album that we did a couple of weeks ago, Jeff Porcaro from Toto is drumming on this album.
Oh, nice.
There's only 2 tracks he doesn't drum on, apparently.
Oh, did you see we got a correction, by the way?
Oh, I did, yes.
Yes, yeah. A shout out to Rafa Davis.
Yeah.
All right, Matt, thank you.
I was pronouncing Steve, I'm going to say it wrong again now, Lukather's name wrong, because I was saying Luther.
Luther, yeah.
Yeah, it was Lukather.
Yeah, Luther, let's call the whole thing off.
Yeah, so well noticed and well corrected.
You get 10 points and you get to sit in Pedant's Corner for the week.
You get fucking, that copy of the album on CD if you send me your address.
Yes. We'll send you some shit. Some shit. We'll send you some
shit.
Yeah, fucking teacher. Yeah. Right. Okay.
Yeah, nothing more to say about that. Okay, I'm with you that it's preferable to the first 2, but no interest at all
No.
in this. Yeah,
But, you never know, man. We know what we have to do in this podcast. So,
Okay.
sometimes better than worst is useful for our purposes.
True.
Right, so track number 4 is called Fade to Black.
Uh-huh.
It is unfortunately not a Metallica cover.
Yeah, this could have been the one they collaborated on.
It could have been, couldn't it? It could have been the
Some mashup.
it could have been the Lou Reed album in years in advance. I mean,
Mark Knopfler featuring Metallica.
yeah, I mean, fucking hell, don't it might still happen.
Ugh.
Lulu.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, yeah, Fade to Black.
Oh, by the way, if you are listening to this podcast and you're a fan of the album Lulu, feel free to not tell us about it. We don't give a fuck.
So we've got some very stereotypical smoky barroom blues thing going on.
Yeah, I'm starting to get the impression this might be another super slow ponderous blues missive.
Did you think so?
Starting to, yeah.
Well, I wonder where you are tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So he's lamenting an old relationship.
Yeah.
He's wondering where they were
Yeah.
tonight.
But it's also, there's part of him going, oh, well, I'm glad that, I'm out of that because you were bad for me. And it was, I got the rough end.
Yeah.
But he's also still writing a song about it.
He's also wanking over a Polaroid.
yeah, indeed.
Glad we took these first. Look, man, my favourite bit on this, right? I mean, I've got very little to say about this song at all, right? But there is a lyric on here where he's like, he regrets getting tattooed.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Now, he says that as an aside, and I think what you're supposed to think is that obviously that it's like her name or something like that. Right? I reckon it's not that. I reckon he's had a Tasmanian devil holding a Union Jack flag. That's what I reckon he's had.
What? That's just what comes to your mind when you think of Mark Knopfler getting a tattoo.
Mate, that's just that's the tattoo that everyone got in 1991 and immediately regretted. There were a lot of Tasmanian devils in 1991.
Is that right? Okay.
Man, yeah.
Wow.
Generally holding a
Gosh.
Union Jack flag or something along those lines.
Right. Oh, so it was that the tribal tattoo of 91.
Yeah, pretty much,
Everyone
man. I
got
reckon he were pissed off on a neat out on the tune.
Well, quite.
Can't
Yes.
do the voice.
Geordie Knopfler.
Can't do the voice. Probably with Sting.
Oh, well, obviously.
Yeah, on his dad's boat.
And Jimmy Nail.
On his dad's dead boat.
Dad's dead.
Dod's dad's.
Ken's dog's
Ken
dead.
Dog's dad's
Yeah.
dead
Boat.
boat. And yeah, that's what I reckon.
On Nuki Brown, obviously.
What tattoo do you reckon it was?
I was going to say it was one of those aliens that says, take me to your dealer.
Take me to your dealer. I had a fucking alien tattoo. Fuck off.
There you go, see? And you don't want it anymore.
I haven't got it anymore.
Have you got? Is it gone?
Well, of course it is. That's been covered for years.
Right. Well,
You've seen me naked loads of
oh,
times.
God. That's horrifyingly true.
You want to see it again now?
No, absolutely not. In fact, put that fucking battle vest back on that you had last week.
Mate, do you reckon you could get out of this room before I got naked?
I could throw the dog at you.
I've been fed in 3 days.
No, this one, there's kind of a bit of a Hammond organ going through it. It's jazz brush drums. It's all very laid back.
Yeah.
It's total jazz club nonsense. But fuck me, it's dull.
Oh, it is dull, mate.
Dull.
It's like Pharaoh and Ball dull.
Yeah.
It's,
Only good thing is it's only 3 minutes 49.
even in that,
Yeah.
you still get 50 seconds at the end of. I mean, I've written quite nice blues wankery.
Okay. Oh, so you're damning with you're damning with criticism.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Critical praise.
but yeah. So
It's a shame. I wonder, because, as you can probably tell from listening to us talk about this album, neither of us are aficionados or fans to any degree, really, of, this sort of blues.
Yeah.
It's not like a John Lee Hooker blues. It's not even like Clapton blues, where there's a bit more balls to it. This is jazz blues or whatever, and I'm not into it. I wonder if you are, if you're a fan of this sort of genre. Maybe this is one of the greatest albums in its fucking type. I don't know. But
let's take a break. Let's talk about some
for sure,
records.
let's talk about
Albums.
what albums are going on this week. Top 10 albums. This is what we've got. And what this week, the week of the albums I'm doing is the week of the 15th to 21st.
Week of the albums.
Week of the albums. 15th to 21st of September, which is the week that Dire Straits was number one. It was after the rest of it, but this is the one we're looking at. Number 10 is the Specials Singles Collection. So best of that coming out. Number 9, Seal, which we did. Number 8, Colour Me Bad, which we saw before.
Yep.
Number 7, Cher, Love Hurts, which we did.
Uh-huh.
Number 6, R.E.M.'s Out of Time, which we did. That's gone back up, so I'm assuming there must be a single that's just been out.
Probably
something
Shiny
like
Happy People's.
Probably is. Number 5, Van Morrison, Hymns to the Silence.
Yeah.
Not a fucking clue. Not a notion on that
Nah.
one. Number 4, Joseph's and His Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Who gives a fuck?
No, Jason Donovan doing that one. Number 3, actually is John Lee Hooker's Mr. Lucky. So there is some
Okay.
blues going on.
There we go.
Yeah. I do remember that they re-released Mannish Boy, maybe, on 7-inch. Bet you it was a Levi's ad. I bet you it was a Levi's ad, and then it was a top 10 hit and a single.
Oh,
They
sorry,
released it
Manish
best
Boy.
of.
I thought that was some kind of Bangorized.
Nice. And then number 2 is Paul Young's Singles Collection, which had just been number 1. So, whatever, top 10 is...
What was the singles collection called? Was it just called the singles collection?
Singles Collection.
I wasn't called something like Wherever I Lay My Hat.
No, or Young Guns, or anything like that.
That song should have just been called Luton.
Wherever I lay my... Luton.
Luton, that's my home.
Oh, right, see, yeah.
Where Luton.
Wherever I lay my hatters.
Aye. You bet that hat that you lay down, straw hat.
Absolutely.
Man alive.
Right, but in the 4-week period that we have from our last sort of touch point,
Yeah.
there's actually a lot of shit coming out. So,
Lot of shit. Good shit.
Good shit, mate. From the 25th of August to the 21st of September, this is what we're looking at for album releases. Mudhoney's Every Good Boy Deserves Fudge.
Nice.
Got to number 34. Good album. That's kind of, for me, part of classic Mudhoney territory.
Yeah.
After that, they started going a little bit. It dropped off from a bit for me, but that's still some great songs on there. It's well worth checking out. One I have never heard and never will, Osric Tentacles released Strangitude.
Oh, mate, I mean, I know that the Osrics have got their fans.
Oh, God. I mean, they were big in
People love the
early
Osrics.
90s, yeah.
They're still knocking about, aren't they?
Oh, well,
Probably.
I imagine so.
But it's a step too far for me, the Osrics.
Well, indeed.
I can't dip my toe into that hallucinogenic pool.
No, well, it's like, okay, well, if the Levelers took more drugs and started playing electro, I'm not interested. Not electro, but yeah. Blur, Leisure, got to number 7, which I like. You won't.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. But that's when this was out, end of 91. PM Dawns of the Heart, the Soul of the Cross, got to number 8 in this time period.
A couple of big singles.
That's it, and it did well for them. Rush released an album called Roll the Bones, which got to number 10. Mm-hmm. I have obviously no idea about that album.
I've never. I'm not a massive Geddy Lee fan, so I've never dug too deeply into Rush.
No, they're not for me. I know Tom Sawyer because I heard it on a DJ mix. Someone mixed it into
DJ Mix put it out.
yeah, quite. Mick.
It's on a DJ Mix. You're such an influence on me growing up. That's what we used to call you.
Yeah, quite. But I heard that on a DJ mix thing, mixed in with some hip hop stuff. And I thought, I like that.
Mixed in with some hip hop stuff.
Yeah, no, it was Z-Trip. Z-Trip used it. So he was doing a load of stuff like that. And it worked really well because it was a big riff. And then obviously I knew YYZ from Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
Those are the only 2 Rush songs I knew. Mm-hmm. But I didn't give a shit about Rush. It peaked at number 10, so obviously they've still got big fan base at this point. Tin Machine released Tin Machine 2, which got number 23.
I forgot they did a second one.
I know. I was totally unaware of what was going on with that. It was just out of my radar.
Yeah, not for me.
No. Carter Unstoppable Sex Machine released 101 Damnations, which got to number 29.
Good album title, to be fair.
Oh, they did good puns. Mm-hmm. They were... Well, I think witty's probably the wrong thing to do, but they were quite a nod and a wink, that sort of thing. Mr. Bungle's self-titled album got to number 57.
It's a fucking brilliant... I'm surprised it did that much, to be honest with you.
Me
it's
too.
a fucking great record, that first Mr. Bungle album.
Yeah.
Squeeze Me Macaroni, Girls Are Porn.
Right. Did you know it at the time?
No, I didn't get into... I went to... until sixth form and someone I knew that had it, basically.
Right, okay, so...
I wasn't aware of it, hadn't heard of it, and then... I mean, I should have been aware of it.
Because you were a Faith No More fan at this point.
Yeah, because obviously Mike Patton's wearing the Mr. Bungle t-shirt in the Epic video.
Oh, I see, right. But
also
it's probably fucking impossible to get hold of.
Yeah, but I got it. I got a copy of it, and it's like, it's one of those things where some of the ins on it are some of the really fucking horrible lyrics.
Yeah.
And then it's just gonzo and great, and I fucking loved it. I
Right.
really do.
Yeah, fair play.
A lot of people really love the second Mr. Bungle album. I'm more of a fan of the first and the third.
Oh, okay. Covering all bases.
That's where I'm at, mate. That's where I'm at.
All right.
You got gushing gonads, tingling tushes, hairy balls, and hairy bushes.
Is that
S&M,
a
whips and
lyric?
chains, pregnant little ladies with menstrual pains.
Lovely.
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks.
Girls
Thanks
are
for
porn. It's
that.
the girls are porn, man. Yeah, you'd enjoy that song.
I just did.
It's about masturbating.
What? 2 pregnant women having periods.
It's about all. It's you never listen to "Girls Are Porn" by Mr. Bungle.
No.
See, you don't understand. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't. If you say you don't like it, you don't know what you're talking about.
No, everything I've heard that someone's gone, oh yeah, that's Mr. Bungle. I've gone, oh, that's why I don't like it then. It's awful.
Well, that's because Niall keeps trying to play you again, Search for Techno Allah and stuff like that. Isn't
Right,
it?
yeah, the really dissonant stuff.
Yeah, that's and a lot of it isn't. A lot of it is a lot more straightforward songwriting. And I might make you listen to the whole album at some point.
No, you're not.
California, man, it's a fucking
Dude,
great record.
You're making me listen to fucking Dire Straits. You're
I'm
not
not
gonna...
making you listen to this.
Whose idea was this podcast?
Oh, all right, but you. That is a fair point.
Right. Okay, Mr. Bungle there. But then also Fugazi, Steady Diet of Nothing. Got to 63.
Do you know what, man? Steady Diet of Nothing is one of my favourite Fugazi albums.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's generally held in the pantheon. It's not something I read. I read
Quite up the top, but yeah.
I don't know. I don't. You know, people.
Top third. Sort of.
When people talk about Fugazi records, you kind of obviously people always talk about 13 songs, which
Absolutely.
was obviously the first 2 MPs. People talk about Repeater a lot.
Yeah, definitely that one.
And maybe Margin Walker and stuff like that. But Steady Diet, I don't hear in a conversation, but I think it's so fucking good, man.
Yeah.
Like that song Reclamation that's on Steady Diet. I mean, I suspect when we get to our top 10s of the year, you'll hear some more about this. So I won't blow my load on
Fair
it now.
play, right?
But,
Okay.
But in a post Me Too era, a fucking all girl punk band needs to cover. I mean, how can you not cover a song that starts "Here are our demands. We want control of our bodies."
Right.
Right. I mean, we need that song.
Nice.
Someone needs to get out there. If you're in an all girl punk band and you're listening to this podcast of 40-year-old men,
Yeah.
lamenting music from the past, right? Firstly,
Yeah.
what are you doing with
Yeah,
your lives?
absolutely,
But secondly,
please.
get out and cover "Reclamation" by Fugazi.
Done. Also, there's another one. This kind of, it was a bit strange when I saw it was out because it didn't chart until 1992 in the UK, but it was released in 91. Pearl Jam's 10 was out in this period.
Was it really?
But it didn't chart as an album until the following year over here.
Well, okay, I presume this is if you'd asked me what year this album was released, I'd have said 92.
Oh, I see. I would have said 91, but I would have assumed it charted in 91. Just because I lump it in with Nevermind and Blood Sugar Sex Magic
Yeah.
in the same year. But yeah, no, it didn't do anything album-wise till, I guess, a couple of singles in.
I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, maybe it was Jeremy that started shifting units.
Maybe so.
Because that was fucking massive, that video, wasn't it?
The video, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, so was Alive.
Yeah, but not as big as Jeremy. Jeremy was the bigger one.
True enough.
Right, so yeah, that was out. Naughty by Nature, self-titled, was out.
Brilliant record.
Uh-huh.
My
Yeah, I
friend
know you're a
Alan
fan.
came back from America with that album and gave me it.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, nice. He lent me it, actually. I don't think I ever gave it back.
I see.
But yeah.
One of those.
Yeah.
Right, but yeah, I know you're a big fan of...
Yoke the Joker, man. That's got one of the when Eminem was talking about underrated MCs. He talked about Tretch in that. Yeah, man, fucking Tretch, man. What an underrated MC. I mean,
play.
Anyway.
Fair play. And the last one I got on here is Hole, Pretty on the Inside.
Okay.
So it came out in this just summer of 91.
Never cared about Hole apart from the big singles.
Exactly. And I'm pretty sure I had Beautiful Sun. I had a nice green 12-inch of that because I'd seen them on The Word, maybe.
Right.
But that was the only thing. Oh no, it was Violet off this album as well.
I can't remember.
Might have been. I had Violet 7-inch. But yeah, that was kind of... I didn't have the album ever. Because I wasn't enough into them that I thought I needed to investigate anymore.
Sure.
But it was out, and it's a big kind of signpost as to what's happening.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, well, there's your albums anyway.
Yeah, fucking interesting times, though, man.
Yeah, no, it's a little good period. That's a big summer of albums, that is.
Yeah, for sure, man. Certainly more interesting than what we're doing at the minute.
Well,
so,
yeah.
we're back into Dire Straits. Track number 5 is called The Bug.
The Bug.
Killer, sleep with the big gun.
That's the first thing I thought of whenever I saw the title as well. See, I'd say this was a jaunty one.
Oh, yeah, this is a lot more up-tempo.
Yeah.
This has got a square dancing feel, isn't it?
Yes, I have said I can imagine this being done by the Mavericks or Billy Ray Cyrus.
Matt, can you remember that fucking line dancing craze in the mid-90s?
Oh, it was early to mid-90s. It started with achy breaky heart, didn't it?
But it carried on, mate. It fucking.
But yeah, it went through.
I mean, I remember it like around 95, 96.
Well, it was like I say, the Mavericks were
and
still.
the Steps.
Oh yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Scooting, baby.
Yeah,
Boot
yeah.
scooting. Has there ever been a fucking more annoying phrase? If anyone ever told you they were going boot scooting, you'd punch them in the face with a fucking mug in your hand.
And if someone said, "Oh, what's your new girlfriend like?" And she went, "Oh, she's kind of boot scooting." Oh well, mate, get rid.
Yeah, yeah.
What are you thinking?
Me and her, we like to go boot scooting. You do what, mate?
Pardon?
You do what? If you'd told me you'd go badger baiting, I'd have more respect for you. You fucking, what is it?
No.
I tell you what, right? As well, right, I'll forgive Americans.
Okay.
Right? That's I'll
Because
forgive.
they don't know any better.
Yeah, because it's
Culture.
like, it's in the same way that I'll forgive Morris dancers. Do you know what I mean?
I see. All right.
It's got some cultural background. You're a fucking. You've got to find some kind of
grown
group of
up with
people,
it.
right?
Uh-huh.
English people, and I am an English person that loves American culture.
Yeah.
Right. I love American stuff. People take the piss out of me for it. Right. Most of the stuff I like comes from America. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But fucking English people doing fucking square dancing,
Right.
line dancing, that is a bridge too far.
Too much.
Putting on fucking cowboy boots.
Yeah, well, that's the thing as well. It was
Bootlace
full on the
ties.
cowboy boots and those little string
Yeah,
tie
bootlace
things.
ties, man.
Bootlace ties.
Fucking Stetsons.
Yeah.
Like basically,
Nonsense.
dressing up in plaid shirts, tucking them in to your fucking Wrangler jeans that are too tight for your fucking 45-year-old fat ass, right? Fuck off.
It's cultural appropriation.
It is cultural appropriation, man. You're not Howard Keel.
Wasn't he Jaws from the
No,
That's Richard Keel.
Yeah, Richard Keel. Now, Howard Keel was a cowboy type character that was a character in Dallas and also had
was
a
he?
music career. Yeah.
Oh, I see. I'm totally unaware of him.
Well, there you go, mate. That's because you're not deeply into boot scooting.
I'm probably coming into that sort of time in my life where I should get into boot scooting.
You could do. Nice way to meet women.
Yeah. Great.
Couldn't you imagine the women you'd meet?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've seen videos for the Mavericks.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck, the Mavericks.
Yeah.
Oh, go fuck yourself. Yeah. Anyway, right. So this song.
This was the fourth and final UK single as well.
Yeah. I mean, look. There's a bigger riff in this song than in any of the ones. Don't mind it at all.
Okay.
At least this one is a bit more fun.
Yes, it is. It's more upbeat. There's more going on. This reminds me of a bit of a less catchy Walk of Life.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that as well. This one's got another one with a 1 minute long outro, but
Sure.
that's ameliorated by the fact that this song is only 4 minutes and 17.
Fine, okay.
So this one has got some self-editing in it.
Yeah.
It's got some tempo. I mean, I'm prepared to forgive the fucking imagery of boot scooting.
Right.
But yeah, this is probably the one I would say is most like a single that we've heard so far.
I would agree with that. I would absolutely agree with that, and I can see why they put it out as a single.
Yeah.
Because this, like I said, to me, it's reminiscent of Walk of Life or
Sure.
Twisting by the Pool or whatever. Those silly, catchy songs that they
Yeah.
put out in the mid-'80s, that's more like those than anything we've heard so
Yeah,
far.
absolutely.
I still don't like this song, and I particularly don't like the lyrics.
I don't even know if I fucking read the
Oh,
lyrics.
it's-
There's a bug.
it's the-
Sometimes you're a bug on, and sometimes you're the windshield.
windshield, yeah.
Sometimes you're the anus. Sometimes you're the toilet paper. that
Exactly.
kind of-
Yeah. It's sometimes things are going well, sometimes they're not. But it's just a massive list of
Yeah.
A or B. A or B. It's that, and it goes on for 4 minutes.
You ever seen that movie, The Mystery Men?
Yeah.
Where there's the character who's the Sphinx.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can't get better without getting worse. And it's just everything he says is, to first go up the hill, you must come down the hill.
Right.
Like,
It's nonsense.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, this is all very nonsense. I get why they've released it as a single, but really no interest at all again.
Yeah, in the words of Jazz Club, shite.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
no, but less shite than some of the others.
Yes, agreed there. Agreed. I would, if you'd said to me, here's 5 songs, the first 5 songs, which one's the best? That's the best of a Bad Bunch.
Lovely stuff. All right. So number 6 is called You and Your Friend. So it starts off Blaze of Glory.
Yes. And this was the single that was only released in France and Germany.
Yeah. Starts Blaze of Glory, goes Procol Harum.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is like, you know, definition of white man stadium blues.
Yeah, totally.
Definition of white man stadium blues. This is spotlight goes on the guitarist. Let's take this guitar for a walk.
Sure.
And I'm
atmospheric.
Yeah. I mean, lyrically, this is about a threesome.
I wondered that.
Yeah.
I've got the. Is this about a three-way?
I mean, it seems like it. It's like
It could be.
Are you going to bring your mate along, or are you going to disappoint me?
Sure, but I think the last verse it says, "I relive the situation, still see it in my mind. You got my imagination working overtime."
So this is about him having a wank about her bringing her mate.
Bringing your
over.
mate in, yeah, you and your friend.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe.
If it is,
Or
fair
maybe
play.
it's about two sad cats. They used to be friends, and now they're both fucking Mark Knopfler.
There's a Disney film I would watch.
We're in dire straits, and now dire straits are in us.
Oh, this Aristocats remake is really weird.
The Aristocrats.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I appreciate that. You know, that Mark Knopfler is known for his laconic delivery.
Very much.
Right. But he's less laconic on this and more narcoleptic.
Yeah.
He sounds asleep.
Oh, I think a lot of these, he just sounds bored. Like he can't even be bothered.
This, you know, that's the thing. Like, we talked about, for a record that was only made through their own choice, there seems to be a lot of not giving a fuck about making this record.
Yeah. I do wonder if there's an element, because kind of in the meantime between Brothers in Arms and this, in that 6-year period, he had done a couple of soundtrack albums, which I'm assuming were mostly instrumental.
Well, he made the soundtrack to Princess Bride, which is wonderful.
That's one of them. Yes, absolutely. But I wonder if he was like, that's probably what I would prefer to be doing. I wouldn't, rather than having to write lyrics and sing, and be the front man, if I could just, you know, do instrumental songs. Maybe it's like, oh well, I've got to write something because the record company need me to.
Well, this record feels a lot like. I mean, I say this without the benefit of really knowing the back catalogue that well.
Sure.
But it feels like a solo album rather than an album.
That's very true. I hadn't thought of that, but I would totally agree.
And I think it's interesting. You know, I mean, this is the last studio album that Dire Straits would make, and then he embarked upon his solo career. And you know, I guess in much the same way as Robert Plant seems much happier not being in Led Zeppelin.
True, and there's no interest in going back. Yeah.
You know, much to my fucking dismay.
Well.
But fuck it, Robert Plant doesn't owe me anything.
No. Well, there was that blowjob that he promised to give you.
That is true. Yeah.
But you know, there's still time.
I looking back on it, I'm not sure that was Robert Plant.
Or was it Ann Wilson?
Yeah. Might have just been a house plant. I was fucked. Very high. Anyway, nothing much to say about this. It's dull as shit.
It's dull. Weirdly, I don't mind it because it's not as offensive to me as some of the earlier ones. Because I didn't like the sound of tracks like 1 and 3. I don't mind this as much sound-wise, but I find it very dull.
Oh, I see. The 3-minute outro on this one.
Another 6-minute song.
Yeah, I mean, it's so long. I mean, the things that you could do. I mean, your eggs would be ruined.
That is
on
true.
This one. This is, you know what I mean. You only put this one on if you fucking like your eggs black.
Yeah, I'd have to use this for one of the Tesco like spaghetti and meatball microwave meals.
Right. Okay.
You know, they're longer, so I'd need a song like this.
I would have no idea, my friend.
No, you certainly would not.
What, are they from the value selection?
No, they're the mid-price ones. They're not the up like.
I can't believe you wouldn't even buy the finest. Why wouldn't you buy the finest one?
Because they're not in the 3 for £6 deal.
3 for £6.
Yep.
If your meal costs £2, Krista,
then I'm making money.
No, you're losing life.
Even Waffles has walked away from me after I've admitted that.
Mate, he eats tinned dog. He does. Do you know what? His dinner, I think, costs more than yours. I've got more respect for my dog than you have for yourself.
That's fair. Yeah.
All right, so track number 7.
Yeah, let's move on.
So this one is called...
This is Heavy Fuel.
Oh, yeah.
And this was the second single.
Yeah. Well, see, this one straight away sounds more like you're in that kind of big electric blues sound from Money for Nothing. Yeah, from
this reminds me of Money for Nothing.
Yeah.
That guitar sound.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I can see why the record company would go, oh, right, well, this has to be the second single. After calling Elvis and it not doing anything, let's go back with the old style.
Yeah. And this one, lyrically, it's sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah, no cliche left unturned.
Yeah, but I get the feeling it's similar to Money for Nothing, where it's like the point of view from someone looking in from outside.
And I was with this song on that, and with that kind of slightly kind of a glint in the eye kind of knowing bit, right?
Yeah.
And then it gets to a particular verse,
Right.
and I'm sure you know which one I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Where it transcends self-parody to the point of unlistenability.
Are you talking about the line where he goes, "I love the babes, don't get me wrong, hey, that's why I wrote this song"?
Yes, I do. I've got that written down. I love the babes, and I've got written next to that, fuck me.
Right.
Because
I think that this is similar to the Money for Nothing, where he's going, you see it as money for nothing and your chicks for free. And this is someone going, oh yeah, this is why you do rock and roll. And he's going, yes, yeah, that's why I do it. I love the babes. That's why I wrote this song. I don't think he's serious in this at all.
I mean, I don't know. I have issues about the tone of the execution.
Yeah.
Of where he's at with it.
I see.
I do.
But do you think he's honestly serious talking about the amount of drugs?
No, I don't think he's honestly serious. But what I think he's got, I think if he's trying to write something that has got like a kind of a satirical self-aware kind of third, fourth wall breaking tone, I think he's just misjudged it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I think it's like, when someone tries to tell you a joke that isn't funny.
Okay.
Which is one of the worst things in the world. Is there's always, if you've ever worked in any office situation, there is always someone that thinks they're funny that isn't.
To be honest, that's usually me.
Yeah, it's normally me.
Yeah.
And I hate when someone treads on my fucking brand.
I don't think so. I think it is from the point of view of an outsider looking at what he thinks the rock and roll lifestyle is.
Okay.
I think it's, and Mark Knopfler sort of channeling that. Because I don't believe that they were doing that amount of drugs and drink every single night.
I don't know. It's the 80s, man. People were fucking blowing coke up each other's asses for breakfast.
It's also Dire Straits. I just can't imagine it.
But famously the biggest, kind of imbibers of cocaine at the Band-Aid recording was Status Quo.
Yes.
I think that there is an old guard kind of sex, drugs, and rock and roll thing that went through where it was almost de rigueur. It was part of the job. It was the excess was part of the job that ran through the 80s.
Right. Well, I'm not. Yeah, I suspect there were excesses. I suspect they did have that. I just don't think that this was their life.
Anyway, so look, I mean, this is one of the more bearable songs apart from that bit.
Okay.
And that bit, it's just like, it makes me fucking hurt inside. It makes me cringe so hard that I can't enjoy it.
I say I don't, because I'm coming at a different viewpoint, I don't mind it. And I think that this is one of the more listenable songs so far because it harks back to Money for Nothing.
Sure.
In terms of who's on this has a throwback to some of our previous podcasts as well. The drummer, it's not Jeff Porcaro anymore. This one is Manu Katché, who we've seen on Phil Collins and Sting and the Christians.
As also the thing I always order from Wagamama.
Nice.
The Manu Katché, please. Yeah, with chicken.
Yeah. That's your drummer on there.
Well, we've come across him on a couple of records, haven't we? Oh, no, we've had...
Phil Collins, Sting and the Christians.
There you go, yeah. And who's the bass player? Who's our friend, the bass player?
Oh, Pino Palladino.
Pino Palladino, yeah, he hasn't showed up on here yet.
No, I haven't noticed that he's on this one.
I mean, I bet you he was on a fucking sofa for some of the sessions.
He's probably busy doing the second Christians album at this point.
Or maybe he's got a rivalry with someone in the band.
Oh, imagine having a rivalry with one of Dire Straits. One of those low-level beefs you could possibly have.
Danny Dire Straits. Right, let's do track number 8, which is called Iron Hand, which is presumably the hand he uses to do his ironing.
It's a very different sound so far.
Kind of almost...
It's like a folk song.
Yeah, it's like kind of a rebel... It's kind of almost in Billy Bragg territory, isn't it?
You'd hear this around a campfire.
Yeah. And the thing is, right, I am bored by this album at this point.
Okay, yep.
Badly.
Sure.
Right?
Yep.
The last song is not... But, this song,
deep and strong.
the criticism I've thrown at this album is a lot of it is like it seems like be an album without much of a point, right?
Right.
But he's got a point on this song.
Yes, well, it's about a very specific thing.
Basically, it's about him seeing the assaults on the miners by the police, wasn't it?
It is. It's
Basically,
an event called the Battle of Ordgrieve, as
yes.
it became known.
Basically, mounted police assaulted peacefully stroking miners.
Stroking miners? you were stroking miners.
Oh, fucking paging Dr. Freud. Are we doing that Michael Jackson album? No, so it just basically assaulted striking miners, peacefully striking miners with batons.
Yeah, just rode into them, apparently. Yeah. And it was, various accounts saying it was one of the worst signs of police brutality they'd seen at that point, and it changed the course of people's thinking about the strike, and it was a big deal. Yeah, it was a big deal. And so, there's lines in this song such as, the blue line, they got the given sign, the belts and boots marched forward in time, the wood and the leather, the club and shield swept like a wave across the battlefield. Yeah. So it's very evocative of that sort of image.
Yeah, it's not a type of song I would expect from Dire Straits.
No, I've heard nothing like this from them before, to be honest. This is kind of thing that I say that nowadays someone like Frank Turner would do. Yeah. I actually do enjoy this song, I must admit. This is the first one that I was like, actually, this one's good.
See, I don't like this one.
Oh, do you not?
No, I've put here, it's got a point, it's short, still don't like it.
Oh, really? Yeah. Still, no, even there was different direction. Yeah. It's very gentle, it's not trying to do anything, overblown.
No, I'm not a big fan of the earnest, the earnest kind of slightly agit protest song anyway.
Right, okay.
Folky. If I hear a good one, the weird thing is, I think hip hop is folk music in many ways.
The whitest thing anyone's ever said.
It fucking is, man. It's folk music. It's the music for the people. Go fuck yourself. What I'm trying to say is I'm not totally against it as a form, but this, musically, it doesn't. I'm not a Frank Turner fan. No. I'm not a Billy Bragg fan.
No, because this isn't hitting any of those points for you.
No, exactly that. Fine. It's not. It doesn't do it for me.
Okay, no, fair enough. I like it. I think it's simple but effective, and I think lyrics in it work well. Mm-hmm. So far, this is my favourite.
Okay, fair enough.
So far. But okay, so we're now 8 songs through.
Oh yeah, 8 songs through.
8 songs through the 12.
So let's go and do the singles.
Yeah, let's indeed. Okay, so the top 10 singles this week in the September 15th to 21st. We've got a good lot of new stuff in the top 10, and we've also got a load of other ones released in the time period.
Great.
So we've got some good shit here. Number 10, and you'll know this one.
Nice. Utah Saints.
Utah Saints.
Utah Saints.
What can you do for me?
Utah Saints.
The best, have you got the best? Yeah, it's number 10. I really enjoyed that when it came out. I had the 7-inch of that. Enjoyed dancing around to it. Yeah. Good fun. Number 9, it's a sort of one where I looked at it, I went, I'm sure I remember that. And I played it, I went, oh, I do remember that. But I would never have got, who it was by or anything like that.
Peace in the valley.
Oh, yeah.
Peace.
Okay, so you remember this, yeah?
Peace in your soul. Peace in the valley. Like fucking Joyce Williams or something like that.
No, but it is just a woman's name, Sabrina Johnson.
Sabrina Johnson.
Yeah.
There you go. Cool.
Yeah, but I would never ever have guessed it. That's a good fun song.
Yeah, it's a good.
Catchy as fuck.
Yeah.
As fuck. Number 8, and we said this before. We're not going to talk too much about this one because we're going to be doing it another time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, come on.
Uh-huh.
Give me
loving
a
it.
whisper.
Yeah, Guns N' Roses, Don't Cry.
One of 2 versions of this song across the double albums.
What, they had one on each?
Yep, 2 totally different lyrical songs, same music.
Lazy.
Or experimental.
Oh, because they were a very experimental band.
I can't wait for the conversations on this record.
It's next week.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Have you ever listened to these albums?
No.
Oh, God,
absolutely not.
I'm so glad you got to listen to these albums. Yeah. We'll have to talk about how we're recording these. We're going to do it all in one go.
Oh yeah. I'm not coming back to talk about it again.
Right. Well, it's going to be a long fucking conversation for 2 podcasts.
I know. One of them might be a bonus one that people don't have to listen to.
People want to hear it.
You think?
Yeah.
Well, that's Guns N' Roses, and that's another time. Number 7. And I've forgotten how good a song this is, right? This is a great one. Yeah, when this first starts, you'll be like, oh yeah. Do you recognize the voice at all?
Half sounds like Andy Bell.
Yeah.
Is it Erasure?
Is it Erasure? Absolutely.
Which track is it?
It's Love to Hate You.
Oh, I don't remember this song.
No?
No.
All right, okay, I'll leave it playing because when it gets to the chorus of Love to Hate You, it's like, oh yeah, I remember this. But I think it's a great little, like that menacing minor key. With any satisfaction guaranteed.
I love to hate you.
Yep.
I love to hate you.
I love to hate you. Oh, sorry, Waffles.
Doug
Scared the
looked so
dog.
fucking upset with that, didn't he? And I don't blame him.
No, you're right, mate.
Can you imagine if you had ears that size and sensitive hearing and you had to hear
Oh,
us?
fuck me. Yeah, that's a good tune, though.
Yeah, I remember the chorus now.
That's a quality Erasure song, that is. Number 6 is The Prodigy's Charlie, which we did before.
Yeah.
Number 5 is a re-release. I think that's like the year before. This was a re-release, and I think this is when it got properly picked up.
Okay. Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
Sunshine on a Rainy Day.
exactly. Sunshine and Rainy Day by Zoe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved that as well.
Yeah.
That was a really, really catchy fucking song.
Yeah.
I suspect the only thing, because I know she had other singles out,
Yeah.
and I think I even bought one of them. Couldn't care less.
Right.
Nothing, just bland rubbish. But yeah, you got one song, you're happy.
So your overview generally is Zoe Balls.
Hey, lovely.
Bang, bang, bang.
Number 4, and this was a big one. Big pop rave song. One of those ones that just kept coming back every couple of years with a remix as well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Here we go. Hands in the air, blow those whistles. Yeah.
Who is this by?
Insanity by Oceanic.
Oceanic.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that was fucking massive.
It
That
was
hung around
huge,
forever
yeah,
as well.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Spinderella cut it up
At one time. Let's talk about sex.
Yeah. Indeed, Salt and Pepper. Did you like that song?
Yeah, I loved it.
Did you? I thought it was crap.
I loved it.
thought it was
Still love it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't get that one at all.
No, that's fucking wicked, that tune is, man.
Right, no, it's bland.
Well, Let's Talk About Sex is a great tune. I love all that era of Salt and Pepper songs. I thought they
Yeah.
had banger after banger, yeah.
I do remember that there was a little bit of controversy around it coming out as well because it was so overtly, well, let's talk about sex.
Yeah.
You know, and selling that to the pop charts. There was a bit of hoo-ha about it.
Hoo-ha.
Hoo-ha.
Hoo-ha,
Right,
hoo-ha.
that's number 3. Number 2 is Right Said Fred's I'm Too Sexy. And
right.
number 1 is obviously still Bryan Adams.
Yeah, of
with
course
Everything
it
I
is.
Do. But there's a load of other good singles come out in this
What
point.
we got?
Right.
Hit me up.
This one, and I'm going to say this is his best single.
Okay. Oh, this is a fucking great single.
Fucking brilliant.
I mean, it's one of my favourites.
has
It's
to be. So
fucking
good.
incredible. This video made me feel very uncomfortable in my trousers. Get Off by Prince, anyone doesn't know.
Oh, yeah, no, but that is a fantastic
Oh
song.
my god, yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Just-
So good.
What album was that on then?
Diamonds and Pearls.
I think we're going to be doing that in 92, maybe.
This doesn't, I don't think it gets number 1.
Is it not?
No, I think
What's
it
the one
goes,
that's got cream on it?
Diamonds and Pearls.
I think that's coming up.
I think it comes number 2.
Oh, is it?
I think so. I think we should maybe talk about it anyway because it's one of my favourite Prince albums.
Oh, is it?
First Prince album I ever really got into.
So that came out and it peaked at number 4 in the charts as a single. Peaking at number 9. Ringing any bells on this one?
Not yet. Oh, and I can no longer run. No. Was it Robin?
Nope.
Who the fuck is it? I know. I know the song.
Absolutely.
Not Martika.
Yeah.
Is it Martika?
It's Martika, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Because her album, Martika's Kitchen, came out in this time period as well. Okay. And this was the single that came out. Yeah, and that was quite a big single as well, I remember.
Yeah,
that.
I remember. It's one of those things, it's fucking 20 plus years ago.
Sure. It's nearly 30.
Nearly 30, fuck me.
Yeah. And that wasn't even the biggest single off that album. Toy Soldiers was off that. And that was
Toy Soldiers. Toy Soldiers isn't on Martika's Kitchen.
Isn't it?
Don't think so. It was a... Hang on, because she had 2 records, didn't she?
I only know Martika's Kitchen.
I'm pretty sure Toy Soldiers on the first Martika record, and then Martika's Kitchen is the second one.
Is it?
No, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, maybe so.
So you got Martika, 1988, which has got Toy Soldiers and I Feel the Earth Move on it. Yeah.
Right, and then Martika's Kitchen 91.
Yeah. See, your boy Fensom knows his Martika.
Yeah, apparently so.
Love Thy Will Be Done. Yeah, that's a good song.
Okay, the other one, peaking at number 14, and this is god awful, but
Oh, is it Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch?
yes, it is. Waffles is having a little bit of a complaint.
You don't like the Funky Bunch, Waffles? Hello, baby.
Yeah, fucking good vibrations, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. I hope every time that, you know, his family, if he's got an argument with anyone in his family about, and he's taking the moral high ground, they just play this at him.
No. What they do is they point out the time that he nearly beat an Asian man to death in a racially motivated attack.
There is that too, I suppose. Okay, of the two, you know, this is also a crime. This song.
Yeah. I mean, one of them's got more of a fun vibe to it, hasn't it?
Oh God.
Well, one of them's for like a bit of light jibe, and the other one's for the divorce. You know?
Yeah, true. So we got number 14. That one, so that was big. This was also released. And this was the first time I'd ever heard this song, Hard to Handle. The Black Crowes version.
I love this version of this
Me
song.
too. Absolutely fantastic. This one I put in because I remember really liking this. And this is you know, people are going to be losing more respect for me as time goes on. This is another notch in that ladder.
Okay.
I really enjoyed this single.
Is this Desiree?
It is, yeah. Yeah.
Which is a single?
Feel So High.
See, I've got a soft spot for a Desiree song.
I remember we talked about this before,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
I really like this. I think this is just a very nice, pleasant, little, gentle song.
I don't dislike this either. Oh, it's fucking
But
bad,
the
isn't
thing
it?
is, if she hadn't done that god-awful Life song,
Yeah.
maybe she would have got away with no one taking the piss out of her and thinking she was the worst person in the world. If she'd just done some of these...
But like, do you always think of the same thing as I do when you hear the words Desiree? Which is just like Brent from The Office.
Oh, shit.
Desiree.
Yeah, that's right, yes. Oh, wicked. That only got to 51. That was one of like... That's when she was, you know, her early days.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
Which was cool.
the more credible early stuff.
Exactly,
yeah.
mate, exactly.
You fucking hipster.
I know. Right, here's a weird one. It's got to number 45 in this time period in 1991.
Yeah.
Right, as a single.
Mm-hmm.
But this is not a 1991 song.
This is Head Like a Hole by Irish Nails.
Yeah, so I'm guessing this was just way after the album release.
This album was released in 91.
No.
Yeah, it is. This album was released in 1991. Okay, 89.
Yeah.
The fuck? This isn't released in 89 in this country.
But it was 89.
Well, that's interesting. I always thought this album came out later than it did in my mind. Obviously, when I got into this album, I was part of a youth theatre group.
Oh,
right,
yes,
when
we've
I was-
mentioned this before, definitely.
Yeah, right. And there was one of the guys who was in the youth theatre group was at university. There was a couple of slightly older guys in it, right? And he was and he did this experimental kind of dance performance to one of the tracks off Broken or Fixed.
Oh, right, yeah.
And he was a bit. I mean, he was a really fucking arch kind of aloof cock, right? Cooler than you kind of
Right,
thing.
yeah. Of course he was.
But
He's in a fucking drama thing. This is Nine Inch Nails.
But you're like a little bit impressed by people like that when you're younger, aren't you?
Right.
I mean, now I just go, oh, you were probably a dick.
Yeah.
But I did pursue, and I saw Nine Inch Nails were supporting Guns N' Roses, so I had this album.
Ah, of course.
I had this album
Okay.
earlier in my cycle than. Like, I know I already had this album when I went to sixth form college, for example.
Okay.
Whereas it's like an album that I'd found on my own.
Right, so that would have been 91. No, 92. You went to sixth form college.
Yeah, and I probably had it. Yeah, I probably had it in back end of 91, 92.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, that's when this single was charting, I suppose.
How bizarre! I wonder why it charted then.
I couldn't tell you.
It probably picked up some radio play or something. And
I doubt it's even radio. I reckon, were they supporting Guns N' Roses at
91.
this time?
They would have supported Guns N' Roses in June of this year at Wembley.
Right. I bet you it's that they were getting that and then they got some press coverage.
Yeah.
Like
Or
probably
a
in
Peel session or something
Kerrang
like
and
that.
shit. Maybe that too. And yeah, they're just more of a UK swell.
Sure.
I bet you that's that.
Yeah, I bet you it was, yeah. Cool.
Okay, so yeah, that got to number
What a fucking song
45. Head Like a Hole, yeah.
that is. Oh my God, it's so good.
And this one, right, whenever I went, hold on, this can't be right. This never happened. And I got a little bit excited. I'm looking it up. It's not as good as it should be.
Right.
But there was a live album that Heart released.
Oh, right.
And the single they released off it, which only got to number 56, was their version of You're the Voice.
Oh my God.
So I was like, what? Heart did You're the Voice?
Oh my
Fucking
God.
hell. And it's pretty good. It's just not as amazing as you think it needs to be. This is actually a not live version of it.
Right.
But I still get a little bit goosebumpy just with that intro.
Oh, that's good. Transposed from the original bagpipe.
Yeah.
A chance to turn the pages over. We can write what we want to write. We gotta make ends meet.
It's not quite overwrought enough, is it?
Well, he's so bombastic when he does his version. And this is, she's got a fucking wicked voice. But
It's like she can almost do it too easily.
yeah. But yeah, John Farnham just has a huge set of pipes. It goes
Bagpipes.
Well, quite.
Come on. Where? Where will love go?
So it's good, but it still doesn't beat the original for me.
Oh no, nothing will.
Nah. But I'm very pleased that they did a version of it. And I'm very pleased that it got into the charts.
Nice.
Yeah. And the only other one I've got peaking at number 51 at some point was this.
There's only one.
Which you've heard this in many an indie club in your time.
That's a lovely.
Levelers One Way.
Yeah.
Indeed. That was everywhere for a good while in indie clubs.
Yeah.
It was an anthem for the dance floors.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I took against it for a long time because I thought, Levelers, what a bunch of dickheads. I think that's actually a pretty good song. It's catchy as fuck.
I mean, I don't think I can separate myself from it.
Really?
Yeah. I think I hate it.
Fair play.
I
All right.
think I still have to hate it.
Yeah, that's-
Even though I've got people that are mates with the Levelers. I've got friends that are friends with the Levelers, and
You're one step removed.
well, I've been at parties where the Levelers have been there. I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm just not engaged.
Probably for the best, mate.
And I'm sure,
No one's gonna
I'm
win.
sure they're lovely fucking people. as
Oh,
well.
indeed, and they've done a lot. We know they've done loads for the Brighton music scene. They open up their studio to people and give a load back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, back into Dire Straits. We must do this.
We must,
The
yeah.
last 4 songs.
Okay, track number 9 is called "Ticket to Heaven." Right, so now we're into a 1960s rock and roll ballad.
Yeah, this is like Everly Brothers or something.
For reasons unknown.
Totally couldn't tell you. I straight away when I played this, I was like, oh, don't do that. It's a Buddy Holly song gone wrong.
I mean, my immediate reaction is I kind of fancy a cornetto.
Well, Well, I could do that at any point in time, to be honest.
True that. So, like, lyrically, this is about TV preachers, charlatans.
Yeah.
I mean, interesting. We mentioned the album Temple of the Dog. Came out a couple of weeks ago or whatever it was. There's a track on that record called Wooden Jesus that deals with pretty much the same theme.
Oh, I see.
And does it so much better than this.
Yeah.
Wooden Jesus, where are you from? Korea or Canada or maybe Taiwan?
Oh, I see.
Because I didn't know that was a holy land, but I believed it the minute that shit left my hand. It's a fucking brilliant song. Great fucking song. Chris Cornell belting it out. Stick it on the playlist for the week as a reference.
Oh, I see.
Track.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
It's fucking great. It'll be on the playlist for the...
Yeah, we'll put it on.
The thing. Along with Girls of Porn by Mr. Bungle.
We had Personal Jesus last year. It's a better version of this sort of type of song.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, this is not a good song.
This is rubbish, man. It's just long. It's so long.
I mean, this isn't even... This is 4.5 minutes.
Feels long.
Oh, it feels long.
Long. Long fade out again as well.
Yeah. I mean, there's big strings, as we hear on this. The strings were conducted and arranged by George Martin.
Okay.
It's like massive people involved.
I mean, he should just get on with finishing those Game of Thrones books.
Lazy bastard.
Yeah, no, I've got nothing to say about it. It seems out of place on the record.
This sounds like one he had in the vaults. He was just messing about.
Yeah,
I'll try one sounds like this, and it ended up on the album.
Put it on a fucking soundtrack.
I know,
you know.
I admire the sentiment and all that sort of stuff. You know, about people ripping off the gullible and there should be more protections in place for this sort of shit. And so people don't send their money to the mega rich.
I'll tell you what this fucking song probably was best known as. For being a massive bummer during the fucking live show. So we're rocking out to fucking Money for Nothing.
Yeah.
We've got Walk Alive and it's this shit.
Ticket to Hip. Wank. Yeah.
Right.
But let's move on to number 10 then. A track called My Parties.
Oh, My Parties. Yes.
So we've got another 5.5 minute song. And this is fucking strange. What is happening?
I mean, it's cheery. There's a harmonica.
Oh, there's clarinets in there. There's horn stabs.
Yeah.
But this is really strange.
It's my backyard. It's my back gate.
When he's still in his backyard and his back gate.
I don't want to know,
Yeah,
Mark.
I know.
Just give it to yourself.
Well, this is about a song about a boorish consumerist host, isn't it? It's about the person that invites you around to his house because he wants to show you everything that he's got.
Yeah.
Look what I've got, right? I mean, it's
The middle class one-upmanship.
Yeah.
The little canapes and drinks or scattered around the place.
It's about someone that doesn't really care about the consequences of the environment or all this kind of stuff. I mean, it's just such an inconsequential fucking tune with a weird choice of instrumentation.
Dreadful song.
Dreadful. Rubbish, I would say.
Yeah, I don't understand why he's decided to write a song about this topic. Why he's done it in this weird kind of almost just talking into the mic rather than any sort of singing over a backing track.
I mean, I would imagine he's written a song because he's been invited to a lot of those kind of parties.
Right.
I would imagine it's a lot of industry people that he hasn't got a lot of respect for from an artistic point of view, who he sees as blind consumerists and who are only interested in money and not art.
Right, sure.
You know, which is, the old cliche.
Surface.
Yeah, exactly. It's the the depth versus the consumerism. I would imagine it's a fallout of the success of touring around Brothers in Arms and being exposed to that on a grand scale. I would imagine.
Okay, yeah, okay.
But again, whatever, I don't disagree with the sentiment. I think it's an interesting enough sentiment. It's just a bad song.
Yeah, no, I can't get away from the fact that there's no tune to this.
No.
And it's annoying.
No. So let's move on.
Yeah,
Number 11, Planet of New Orleans.
Right.
Film noir.
It is a detective film.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
Pan up on a man in a trilby hat.
Yeah, there's an you can't hear any rain, but you'd imagine it is raining.
Yeah, there's a flickering light outside the window.
It's a nice little tension build. The synths kind of are in there as well.
Uh-huh. And it's called Planet of New Orleans. This is, I guess, his kind of ode to the blues. You know, he's obviously a big blues fan. This is his ode to the music of the Big Easy. It reminds me a little bit of the song called Your Latest Trick,
Right.
from one of their earlier albums.
Okay.
Reminds me a bit of that. And also a little bit, what was the film soundtrack he did in about 82? No, A Local Hero.
Local Hero,
Yeah, sounds a bit
yeah.
like that.
I mean, there was. I don't know. And this one to me is almost entirely anonymous,
Oh yeah, it's very cliched.
mate. The one fundamental problem with this song, and you know exactly what I'm going to say. It's nearly 8 minutes long.
Yeah.
And it's nearly 8 minutes of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's true.
If this is an absolute sign of someone working in soundtracks.
Right, but we're a minute 30 in there.
Yeah.
And he's just started singing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's. You know.
It is. It's more of an atmospheric song than here's a song
Yeah.
you want to hear. It's background.
I don't need this on an album. I certainly don't need it. It's the 11th track of an hour-long album.
Christ. Like yourself, I was just going, oh, please let this be done soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna level with you completely here.
Uh-huh.
I didn't listen all the way through this song.
Oh, fine.
I got about 5 minutes through and I started skipping like every 20
See
seconds.
if there's anything else
Yeah.
going on. Right. That's only understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
full disclosure, normally try and listen to these albums as many times as we can. I made it through this album twice and I did skip this song both those times.
I forgive you. That's
Yeah.
not a problem.
Right,
Last
track.
one.
Last track is called...
How long?
I mean, what a fucking question.
Slide guitars back.
Yeah, we've got a down-home country blues rock feel here.
Uh-huh. Great, because, you know, that's what I've been looking for,
Yeah.
more country influence.
Yeah, and lyrically, it's about a sex pest.
I don't even remember. I'm not sure if I looked at the lyrics all the way through.
Oh no, this song is incredibly inappropriate.
Is it?
Yeah, this
Oh,
song...
no, I did look at this. Oh, right, yeah.
This,
How long?
this song's like, how long are you going to resist me? It's like,
Yeah.
I've asked you loads of times, you've said no every time, but still I'm asking,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
wearing
right.
you down. It's like, mate, leave her alone.
Yeah, no means no.
Yeah, it's like, mate, you don't want to be writing this down. This is gonna...
True,
This is evidence.
that's coming back to haunt
Yeah,
you.
this is evidence, my friend.
Yeah, no, you're right. I had read the lyrics. I'd totally forgotten until you said it again. Because this is wishy-washy bullshit. As a
Well,
tune.
I mean, yeah, as a tune, yeah. It's fucking dangerously
All
fucking...
right.
Look, it's a bad song. It's mercifully short.
Yes, yeah, we're finishing on like a 3 minutes 40, something like that.
Yeah, and that's really the best thing you can say about this song.
Yes.
And it's something you can't say about the album.
No,
It's an hour-long album.
don't get it.
No, this is... I tell you what you can get is you can get why this was the last album, because
Absolutely.
no one seemed interested in being in Dire Straits in this record.
No. And the reaction was very muted, like I said. Critics and everyone were like, all right, it's not quite what we thought you were going to be doing. This is
Yeah.
not Brothers in Arms Mark
Yeah.
II. And I don't think it's got a longevity for any reappraisal either. I don't think it's people coming back to it 30 years later who are into it, not like us, going, you know what? It's better than it was given credit for. I don't think it is.
No. I'm sure that if you're an absolute aficionado of that type of playing, there are probably things and moments that you can take out of that where you're probably like, oh, that's really nice.
Maybe
right?
so.
But the nuance of that is lost on me.
Oh, totally.
Right? So
Totally. I'm not that person.
yeah, just to try and give it its chance. But you know what we do here is we review pop albums, and this is not a great pop album. Doesn't communicate many things on a mass level. It's not a lot of fun.
There's no fun to it.
It's no fun. You know,
It's really no fun.
yeah, it's got some ideas in there. It's not a risible album in the way that some other things that we've listened to are.
Right.
You know, you can't beat it up really, other than just saying it's a bit fucking joyless.
Sure.
And
also, but you were hoping when you went into it, as we said at the top, you liked that Chris Rea album more than you thought you were going to.
because I found a sense of life and a bit of fun in it.
Some bits of that, yeah.
That's the thing, there was infectious love in it. I mean, admittedly, all of it was about cars.
Well.
But, someone loves something and someone feels driven to do something. I mean, driven being a terrible pun by mistake. But, that comes across in the music and it rubs off on you. This doesn't feel like a record. This feels like a record that, it's more of a shrug than anything. It's like, oh, well, yes, I suppose I'll make it.
Sure.
So it doesn't feel like a record that anyone wants to make, and a lot of time and money has gone into it, and a lot of money was made off the back of it, but it feels... It's weird because...
Apathetic.
Well, the weird thing is, right, obviously it's a record that when you read the theory of it, it comes across as an act of rebellion, right? Because the thing for this band to do, would be to produce another album of that kind of stuff and make millions of, and that so that would be the cynical thing to do. This is the almost anti-establishment thing to do, which would suggest that might be a lot more fun. It's like, oh, because these guys cutting loose, but it turns out the thing they really want to do is dribble a load of piss all over their fucking nettles. Do you know what I mean? It's just no. Look, I mean, fucking more power to you, Martin Knopfler. But
he stood his ground and done exactly what he wanted to do. I don't like what he wanted to do.
Yeah, sometimes you shouldn't.
Yeah. Sell out, you twat.
Yeah, exactly. Look, man.
Well, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, I mean, there's one song that you like on this record.
Yes.
And I don't like it.
No, well, fine. So that's gone. That was Iron Hand.
Yeah.
Second one I would have gone for was Heavy Fuel because it sounded more like Money for Nothing than anything else.
I fucking hate that as well. I mean, I could put that on so people can laugh at that line and they can make their own mind up. I'll go with that for the point of.
But what would your one be then? What would your?
I fucking don't know. Probably The Bug.
Oh really? I fucking hated that.
Did you? I thought you said you didn't mind that one.
No, well, I really hated the lyrics. I didn't mind it because it reminds me a bit more of Walk of Life. Right. So tune wise, but I really hate the lyrics.
Okay. I mean, I don't mind that one, and then after that, it's probably When It Comes to You.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But I mean, I'm happy to leave it as fucking Heavy Fuel.
Yeah.
I don't need more than one.
Oh shit, we're not doing more than one. No, God, no. It's just agreeing.
So I mean, I'll agree to it with the caveat that I don't like it.
No,
that's fine. I don't mind that. I've made my case here.
Fine. Okay. Yeah. I'm not a fan of When It Comes to You.
Just if you ever come up to me on the street and you go, Dave Fensom, you're a fan of the song Heavy Fuel, I want you to know that I'm not.
Whenever people come up and show you their Heavy Fuel tattoo, go, we can be friends now.
I mean, no, that means we can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that then. That's fine. That's done.
Cool. All right. So look, we're going to be back here next week with what we're going to be doing, Krista.
We're going to be doing two fucking Guns N' Roses albums.
Yeah, we fucking are. Guns N' Roses, Use Your Illusion 1, Use Your Illusion 2, two-part special.
Hey, if nothing else, at least we will be more enthusiastic in one way or another than this time.
I think we might have a fight.
I think there's going to be some definite disagreements.
I'm going to wear a headband.
Yes, mate.
You wear a top hat.
Oh, done. Right. We'll get Waffles done up in something.
We'll both skag up. Yeah, we'll get Waffles. I reckon if we cut Waffles' body hair off, he'd look a bit like Duff.
Duffles
McKagan.
Nice. But yeah, that's next week. As usual, hope you enjoyed this at some level. Check the album out for yourself, see if you like it.
No, I don't. Yeah, don't. Anyway, as always, you can find any of the songs that we mentioned on this podcast on our playlist that accompanies it. You'll find that if you follow our Spotify channel, which is linked to from our website, which is www.pclpodcast.com. There you can find all of our social media links. Krista will go through this shit in his outro anyway.
Indeed, yeah.
But yeah, get in contact as always. We love having your feedback in here. Also, I want to give a shout out to Lee Lewis, actually, who sent us the alternative album cover.
Oh, for
Shares Love Hurts.
That's true, yeah.
Oh,
that's terrible.
Did not like that.
But mind you, whenever I saw it, I remembered it because I'm sure maybe my aunt had it or something like this. I remember seeing that in somebody's house.
Right.
So I remember that more than the one that we talked about.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough.
Also, shout out to the number one rerun podcast who they got in contact with us because we were mentioned in an article together, sort of a up and coming independent podcast thing, and they got in contact to say they loved our podcast name. And they were very jealous they hadn't thought of it themselves. So,
nice.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Big up to those guys. Yeah. Go check out their podcast. And yeah, later.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Thank you for checking out this episode of Pop Collaborate and Listen. It was produced and edited by us, for which we can only apologise. We're on Twitter at PCL Podcast, on Instagram also at PCL Podcast, and facebook.com/PCL Podcast. All of these, plus links to our various Spotify playlists, etc., are on our website, which is pclpodcast.com. Please feel free to get in contact via any of the social media or on pclmusicpodcast@gmail.com.